Hi, Ann Cornick from Paint and Porcelain, and I'm here to teach beginners how to get started in China painting and hopefully to recruit those of you that have been painting a while to paint along with us and offer advice. And today we're going to be working on our final fire of our roses. And I know this has been a long road for some of you, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes. This was my second fire. This is how it came out. And I'm not too unhappy with this. And if I really wanted to, I think one of the things I would do on this is maybe leave it. But I don't like the fact that there's a lot of white around the edges. And so this is the final fire that I've already done. And you can see there's more blue around the edges. I like how the roses are darker and they have a little more, like here, they have a little more shadow. So this is the final fire that I'm going for. Oops, this way probably better. Alrighty. So for today, colors. I chose for mine Forget-Me-Not Blue. This is Forget-Me-Not Blue. You see what color that is? It's really a, I don't know, a really pretty color, but it's not a color I use very often. And the other blues I have are baby blue, and I have kind of a blue-green down here. You'll also need black green, maybe moss and chartreuse and shading green, ivory. You really don't need the black blue on this time. And if you don't have it, you can always use Copenhagen. If you used Pompadour, you're going to need the red grape. But if you use Persian, you're just going to do a darker version of Persian, I think. And then this is Pompadour. So let's get started. And I'm going to be using a filbert brush. Now, this is my filbert brush. It's a 12. I know most of you don't have filberts. It's a rounded brush. Can you see there? See how it's rounded at the top? It's one that we use in acrylics and watercolors. And I just found that this brush, because it's rounded, it gives me a real nice smooth background. And that longer number 10 on this fire doesn't seem to work as well for me. I'm right-handed, so I think I'm going to have to turn it this way, because what I want to do on this, just so you know what I'm doing, is from here to about here, just this section here, right across almost the middle of that rose on over. I'm going to just do Forget-Me-Not Blue. Okay, I'm going to start from about here, and I'm just putting on the background. And around here, I'm going to tuck it under and do those C strokes that we've talked about. This is kind of my defining line. This leaf right here is what I'm going to use. And I'm just going to blend it. I thought I would like the cobalt better. And actually, I probably would have done the cobalt, but I've done a lot of things that have been dark, and I don't want to make this equally dark. Now here I'm just going to kind of come across. And here, I'm just going to come across with the blue. I'm going to bring it straight across the middle here. And I mixed up a lot of paint because I wanted to make sure I had plenty of paint for this. And I'm just going to blend it. You can either do it this way, or you can do the fancy blending with the C stroke. Make sure you get your color where you want it, like up here. See, my color, if I had it up there, it didn't stick. And then I'm going to come across here to about here. So I know this looks dumb, and then I'm going to bring this down a little so it's almost like an arc across here. This is what I'm going for. Almost like an arc of color across the top. Now I know that's a little odd, but I did it on this and I liked it, and so that's why I'm going to do it on this one. I really like the way this worked. Now I know that the sun is coming from up here, so that's going to make anything that I take off, any of this paint that I take off, have a real nice, oops, I'm in my way, aren't I? Have a real nice texture on it. I do have lines on here. It didn't blend it quite as evenly as I would like it to. And I'm just going to put a little bit of the, blue over that ivory, because I just want it to come out there, but I don't want it to, there we go. And now I'm going to go back the other way, because remember we talked about if you do everything one direction and you have lines, go back the other way and that will get rid of the lines. Very lightly, very lightly. Okay, so that's what I've done here. Now you're probably wondering, why the heck did you do that? I did it because I want to be able to have some of this in shade and really get my cuts nicely in there. So, okay. And now on the lower half here, I think I'm going to use a little more of the Forget-Me-Not blue, but a little bit of black green, and just mix it in and just kind of go over it. And you will see if you did your shading leaves correctly. See this one here? When I go over it with the color, it really comes out. Like here's one here, and if I put the color on it, it really kind of brings it forward. So that's kind of why I do that. Alrighty, so I'm doing a combination of my Forget-Me-Not. And when I say Forget-Me-Not, that means for you, it would be whatever you chose for your color. Remember, you did not use the same color I did, I hope. I hope you found another color that you like to use for the background. You mix that then with your black green and go over these down here. It's kind of like a wash. And just add in the depth down here. I use washes a lot because I kind of like the after effect of a wash. Okay. Okay. And now I'm just doing that C stroke to try to blend it into the background. And you may want to have your eraser out, because your eraser can give you a really nice blending. I clean my erasers. I clean them with Awesome, for anybody who's wondering how you clean those erasers. Spray them with Awesome. You can get that at the dollar store. And then, boom, that's what I do. Now, I'm taking a little ivory and putting here. And when I start using my red grape, I'm going to also put a little red grape here. You can see on this one, I put a little red grape and it warms it up. I like that a lot. I didn't think I would, but I really do. Okay, so that's kind of the top half of the plate. And I'm going to look at it and decide, do I like that or don't I like that? And I think I'm going to do a little on this side too, because I want this to be really behind the other one. Okay, that's my blue again. Alrighty. Okay, now I'm going to go back and bring out the highlights on these that I don't, that I want to have bring out. And if you don't have chartreuse, this plate I believe has chartreuse on some of these leaves, but you can take a little chartreuse and put it on the side. Remember, my light is up here. And I'm going to put a little chartreuse here and here. This is helping me remember where the light is coming from. And the light's going to skip over this and hit the edge of this. And it might hit right here. Put a little chartreuse there and there. That's a shadow leaf, so I'm going to leave it. I'd like a little chartreuse down here. Coming this way, there might be a little chartreuse here, although I don't know that I want these leaves to really stand out on that side particularly. I kind of like the way they look now. And I might put a little chartreuse here and here. Okay, so that tells me where the highlights are going to be. And then I'm going to clean my brush really well, put a little bit of oil on it. I'm just going to wipe out the rest of these leaves. Just give them a little bit of, let them have their time in the sun. Let them have some color there, some light and dark. I might do it here too. You see how that helps? It really brings out the color on these leaves, and maybe a little here. I always put a little bit of oil on my brush when I'm doing this, because the last thing that you want to do is, I gotta clean that up a little. The last thing you want to do is have it bleed on you. There we go. I'll do this end. Okay, so I've wiped these out too real quickly. Now I'm going to go and wipe out the top of the rose. And I'm still using this brush. And this is my, what do you call it? Filbert. I'm just press and lift kind of thing. Okay, can you see that up in there? And then I'm going to go on this side and just sort of try to get the edge of that leaf back, petal back. No, I'm not too far down. I'm going up to the very edge of the petal. I'm not trying to redo the whole thing. Same thing here. Just the very edge of the petal. Just to bring out the edge. And then I'm going to look at it, and I'm going to decide whether or not it needs a little more, like this. And maybe a little more right here, because my light's up here. And then I'm going to do these on the side here. Oops, you missed that guy. Missed that guy. These are my cuts I already had here. I'm going back over them. Now, if the light's up here, on this little knobby-doo here, you can't see, right here, right here. There you go. This is where the light's coming from. Then this side has to be wiped out. It has to be light. Okay. And I'm going to wipe out a little right here too. You can just push it. You don't have to. Now I'm going into my red grape. If you did Persian, you don't want to do red grape now. And I'm just going to give the color up here a little boost. And I'm going to put a, oops, I need a little up in here. And then I'm going to do a little bit around, oops, I don't want to do too much. A little bit around here. A little bit around here. Pull that blue down. I don't like the blue there. Down here I do like the blue, so I'm just taking a little bit of the grape and bringing it in. And then on this side I'm going to put a little grape here. Make it a little wider. I'm going to put a little grape at the base here. And I'm going to take a little grape and go here. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm making this a cute little outline, kind of backing it up with a little shadow. I like that shadow there, the way it fell. That's kind of cool. And then I'm going to put a little on this side. Just a little. Oops. And a little at the base here. Or actually more at the base. I know it's kind of a purpley rose. If you don't like that, don't do that. Don't put the blue over it, just put the other over it. And then I can go back. I don't like this eraser, I need my thinner one. I found that using this eraser is just a little too thick for me. I don't really care for the way it looks. Let me pull this down a little. And so I'm going to go back with my real thin one, my Paintnporcelain, and just do a little bit of cleanup here. And then I will oops, I want that there. Come here, you. But I like that in the shadow there. Okay. Then I'm just going to brush over it real gently. So, oh, I've got paint on my brush. Real gently. A couple places here I can't get the blue. There, I got the blue off. Okay. 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 Alrighty. And I see some right there I don't want. Okay, now on this guy, he's secondary. I'm not going to worry about him too much. I'm just going to take my red grape and I'm going to widen this a little bit. If you're using a dark color, you can still widen things. Put in a little more dark up here. Pew, pew, pew. There. I just want a little bit of dark. I want a little bit of the darker color here. Here. And a little here, here. Now I'm going to go through and wipe out the white. I'll just use my Paintnporcelain, it's easier. I'm going to pull it a little more that direction. Pull it a little, oh, can you see? Yeah, you can see. A little more this direction. I'm going to come around the rim here and come down. I'm using kind of the side of this, not just the tip. Oops, that's too thick. If it's too thick, brush it over and redo it. I like this. Yeah, that's better. Here, 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 there, there. This one came all the way down. This one, this. I want a little bit of the color of the rose to come out. Okay. I'm just going back over the lines that I had originally cut out here. All right, let's see how that looks. Yeah, it looks pretty good. It's a little dark right here. And it's a little dark right here. I need a little separation right here though, because I don't want them to look like one leaf. Okay. Do a little bit of the red grape up in here. Now I know these are odd colors and people are going to go, oh my God, why did you choose those colors? I don't know. I just did because I like these colors and they work for me. Now I'm going to go back up here and I've been leaning on this, so I have to kind of clean it up a little. This has a border on it, so I have to be careful not to let the stuff clump up on the border. Okay, and then I'm going to come down here and start adding some blue. This is the forget-me-not again, this or whatever color you choose for yourself. I hope you tested your paints to see which one you like. And I'm going to start fading into baby blue down here. Maybe a little bit of this other turquoisey color I have, because I kind of like that down there too. Ooh, that's pretty. I like that. I'm cross-hatching now. This is, for those of you that are beginners, this is not a beginner project. So if you're frustrated because you're a beginner and you're trying to do this, I would never do this as a beginner project. I would do poppies. I like doing wild roses because they're flat. You could do daisies, but this is not a beginner project. What I would say is if it's not working out for you, just keep plugging away. If it doesn't work this time, it's going to work another time for you. Now I'm going to take some of the red grape and I'm coming down here and I'm just going to put a few. That's to indicate that that rose is flipped over. And I have a section here that really makes me mad, so I'm going to have to do something different here. That ran, that for some reason it ran. So that's what I'm doing there. I think I do want these to stand out a little more. Uh-oh, that was stupid. I didn't put the oil on. Hang on. See what happens when you don't put the oil on? It turns into a blob. Just quickly go over it. Make sure you have oil on your brush and then go back over it and you'll get rid of it. But that's a huge mistake. Always, always, always try to have oil on your brush because it can mess you up big time. And you'll spend a lot of time fixing it. Look at all the time I'm spending on this, just trying to fix it. There we go. Well, that's a little better. And then I'll see if I can wipe this out. That's good. I'm happy with that. That's good. I'm happy with that. Okay, now down in here, it kind of stops. And I don't want it to just stop. I want it to blend out a little more. And up in here, it kind of just stops. And so I'm going to use a black green and just come back up in here and add a little more color. And here, I want a little more color right here. So I'm going to put the black green over it like that. And this is a shadow leaf. Now, I don't know if you can see it. It's right there. There's a shadow leaf right there. I'm going to bring it out a little bit by putting a little bit of the black green behind it. Like that, just so you can see it a little better. And down here, I want to add a little black green. Because this should be in the shadow. But then you have to blend it out. Don't just leave it. And you have to when you blend it out, you kind of have to pat it on your towel and really bring it out. And you might have to even use a sponge to pat it. Oh, that's a leaf there. I'll make a leaf there. Leaf there. There we go. You don't want to lose those leaves. I have a leaf here. And a leaf here. Okay. Alrighty. But I do want this color to come down a little further. I don't want it to just stop. Okay. I think I'm okay. Oh, look. There's a shadow leaf. There's a shadow leaf. And you see this one here? Kind of cool. They sort of created themselves. I was watching on the monitor and I saw them and I thought, oh, I can live with that. And then let's cut that one in a little bit. There we go. Should do it with a silk. This is a silk. It's just, you know, a piece of silk, like a scarf or something that you find. And a lot of times you can use it to cut in and give you a little more shape to the area that you're working on. I don't know that I like this, but maybe if I do this, here, let's see. There we go. That's not bad. Okay. So it does kind of look like shadow leaves out there. I didn't expect that, but okay. Alrighty. Now I'm going to take my red grape and do something horrible. You guys are going to think I'm nuts. I'm going to take and put some up in here. Not heavy. Just lightly. See what I'm doing? Not heavy. Pull it across. Give it a little bit of color. You can even mix it with put the blue over it afterwards just to kind of camouflage it. I'm going to also put some down in here. I'm going to hash stroke it. Need at least 3 spots for this. I'm going to make that into a bud. There we go. I'm just going to make that into a bud like that. Oh, what happened there? Hang on. I should be using a different brush. That's what it's telling me. Okay. Let me turn it this way. Got a little pink on there, or red grape. Put a little red grape up in there. And we've got some down in here. Now I'm going to take my... Right now I'm just patting this before it gets too set up, and then it won't pat for me. And up in here, I don't like the way this looks, so I'm going to pat that a little. You can do that. You can pat it out so that it blends a little better if you think you don't like the way it blends. Okay. And then go around and pat so that you're blending. Everything is blended, because I find this works better after paint is set up for a while than you trying to go in and do it with your brush. And then anywhere, like here I have the blue over that. I don't want the blue over that. I'm going to see if I can get rid of it. I'm going to use my little micro. There. This is what I have. I'm thinking it turned out pretty good. I could use a little bit of highlight. Right there, I think. Maybe just a little. There. Yeah. And here. There, that cleans that up. You have to look. Sometimes your paint will separate on you. That's what it did there. And I wanted to make sure I had it cleaned up. Okay. And in the meantime, pick up those brushes, keep painting. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. I hope you enjoyed the program, and I hope you'll take a minute to subscribe so that other people can learn more about China painting and we can get the word out to more people. You also can look at the links below. My Paintnporcelain.com website has a lot of freebies and printables for new and experienced painters, as well as studies, supplies, and even some of my hand-painted china. So thank you again, and I'll see you next time.